Well, it's not easy sticking to that healthy diet if you are home all the time, or maybe you are just tired of cooking the same old things in these days of social distancing. So let's get you some new recipes that pack a lot of flavor and maybe help to keep you away from some of that junk food. This morning, we are going to talk with a very familiar face for fans of the Food Network. Celebrity chef Alton Brown joins us with some pandemic meal tips, literally turning flavor into a science here. Alton, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I got to say, I'm fangirling a bit here. I am such a longtime fan of your show because you really do get into such the science of cooking. It's so fun. I always learn so much. So have you been taking a scientific approach to some of your pandemic meals as well?
You know, I say that during pandemic, you throw out science entirely and you just learn to play with your food. You know, the interesting thing is that, everybody has to get food on the table for themselves and for their family, but they also need some stress relief. And I would like to think that cooking can provide both of those things, getting food on the table and also providing some stress relief. And I think that that comes from play, from just saying, you know what, there aren't any rules, there don't have to be any recipes. Look at the food that you have, put it together and break the rules. And the nice thing is that during a pandemic, no matter what you make, people are going to eat it because they don't have any choice. It's not like they're going to go to a restaurant right now, right?
Right.
Or not very often, at least not as often as we used to. So my thing is to look at the ingredients that you have, try to keep a healthy pantry, and then just start mixing up the rules.
All right, but I think, playing around in the kitchen, it's certainly a little easier when you've got kind of a well-stocked pantry. So talk to me a little bit about the ingredients that you always have on hand. I know you've got a good recipe to kind of show us an example.
Sure. So we went into the pandemic we don't have a very big pantry. My wife and I, where we live, there's not a lot of room in there. So what we tend to do is we try to use and keep things in there that are very, very versatile, that can be used for a lot of different purposes. So we keep, and of course there's nutrition to think about, because if you don't keep your nutrition up sitting around the house in your sweatpants, things tend to expand in an unattractive way, at least when it's me. Pantry, though, should really be not only your nutritional base, but your flavor base. I always recommend keeping things like highly nutritious and flavored things like canned fish, canned tuna, sardines are something that my wife and I really love. Also, beans, dried or canned, like chickpeas, can become the base of a lot of different meals. And I would certainly keep around some stock, some vegetable or chicken stock for cooking other items. The freezer is your friend. We keep around a lot of frozen vegetables. Even if we buy them fresh at a farmer's market, we'll blanch them, boil them in boiling water briefly, and then chill them down and freeze them so that we can add them to anything. Nutrition is important, so is flavor and variety. And we believe in keeping certain sauces on hand that we know that we can turn into other things. I mean, we've converted to doing nothing but eating salads for breakfast. This is a salad that my wife and I came up with called I Left My Heart in Avocado. That's a joke. Anyway, you can get this recipe at readyseteat.com. And it's heavily based on the use of a very nostalgic ingredient to me, which is French dressing. I like the one from my Healthy Choice Power Dressings, full of vegetables. So that's just kind of a little bit of my mindset.
Alton, that looks delicious. I want to try it for myself. Okay, we're going to have all of the ingredients and more info if you want to check out your own nice quarantine kitchen cooking at coin.com.